Welcome everyone. Those of you who've been with us for a while know my name is Michael. I'm with the State Board Resource Center. Those of you who are new, well, my name is Michael. I'm with the State Board Resource Center. Be sure to hit like and subscribe and click on the bell. That way you'll be notified of any future videos we put up, and we put up new videos all the time. There's not any kind of regular basis. Whenever we come across new information, we try to share it with you. Now, today I want to talk about something very, very simple, and yet, unfortunately, a lot of people don't realize it. Now, we do a lot of private tutoring. We speak to hundreds of students every month from every single state. And it's surprising how many students don't realize what I'm going to talk to you today about. It's called the Candidate Information Bulletin, sometimes abbreviated to CIB, Candidate Information Bulletin. Now I have here in this thick 3-ring binder the Candidate Information Bulletin for all 50 states, Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands, Guam. The Candidate Information Bulletin tells you the breakdown of your test. It doesn't tell you exactly the questions. No one can tell you the exact questions because they change every single day. If someone tells you they know the exact questions on the test, they're lying. That same person will probably tell you they know the exact 6 winning lottery numbers. They're lying. Nobody knows the exact winning lottery numbers. Nobody knows the exact questions you're going to get. But the Candidate Information Bulletin tells you a lot of information, and it's free. All you have to do to get your copy, take your phone or your computer, okay, and type in your subject area, barber, cosmetology, aesthetics, nail technology. Type in your subject area, your state, and the words Candidate Information Bulletin. Sometimes you can even get the abbreviation CIB. In other words, for example, Barber, California, CIB, or Barber, California, Candidate Information Bulletin. It doesn't make any difference, okay? You will get a document that shows you the breakdown of the test subject areas. Now, those of you who failed your test, you know when you fail your test, you get this printout that gives you your scores in different areas. And that's kind of an abbreviated Candidate Information Bulletin. But the one you can get for free before your test, and I emphasize before you fail your test, is very detailed. And what you see is how similar it is in every state. Whether your state has 65 questions on the test or 120, it makes no difference. These are the percentages, the most heavily tested area. Cosmetology, barber, nail technology, aesthetics, the most heavily tested area, safety and infection control. Now, if you've got this barber book, it's chapter 4. If you've got this cosmetology book, it's chapter 5. If you have the newer one, which is 2 volumes, the foundation, it's also chapter 5. It is the most heavily tested thing on the exam. 25 to 30% of the questions. You've got a 100 question test, it's 25 to 30 questions. You have an 80 question test, it's 20 to 25 questions. It's the most heavily tested area. Now for barbers, and cosmetologists, stick with me for a minute, for barbers, the second most heavily tested area is chemical services. Now, this can get a little confusing because some states will call this the Master Barber License. For example, Georgia, the Master Barber License. And then they'll just have the regular barber license. The difference is the Master Barber License entitles you to do chemical services, so you'll be tested on them. The regular license doesn't, so you won't be tested. In California, they just call it Barber License. You'll be tested on chemical services. And then there's the restricted barber license, and you won't be tested on chemical services. So be very careful. Now, students tell us every day, well, I'm not going to do hair color, perms, relaxers. That's fine. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. But it's on your test. If it's on your test, it's about 20% of your test. So some simple math, and I keep it simple because I was not good in math. Okay? Wasn't good as a kid, not good as an adult. Simple. If 30% of your test is infection control and 20% is chemical services, that's 50%. You can't pass the test if you blow out 50% of the questions. You need to know these things. Now for cosmetologists, you got the same percentage on infection control, 25 to 30% of your test. And then cosmetologists will have nails. 15 to 20% of your test is nails. Now, in your book, there's 7 chapters on nails. Chapters 9, chapter 10, and chapter 22 to 25. Okay? 7 chapters, 20 questions on your test. Again, simple math, 30% is infection control, 20% is nails. That's 50%. There's no way you're going to pass the test if you bomb on 50% of the questions. Now, just like most barber students will say, I'm not going to do hair color, most cosmetology students will say, I'm not going to do nails. I felt the same way when I was in cosmetology school and barber school. And yet I was very wrong as the years progressed. I've run a school for 30 years. Many students tell me the same thing. I'm a barber, I'm not going to do perms. I'm a cosmetologist, I'm going to do hair, not nails. That's fine. Just like my teacher told me a long time ago, once they give you that license, you do whatever you want to do. But on test day, you need to know these things. Half of your test as a barber, infection control, chemical services. Half of your test as a cosmetologist, infection control, nail technology. You need to know these things. Now, behind me, there's a picture of a very nice car. It's blue. It's the car you might want to have someday and can probably afford to have if you pass your test and then play your cards right. Unfortunately, next up is your method of transportation if you keep on failing your test and don't play your cards right. And it's the city bus. Now, I'm going to wrap up with this, the Canned Information Bulletin. If you have any questions, right behind me is our company name, website, our phone number, 760-534-4434. We will teach you. We do private training, 7 sessions done through your phone. So it's just you and the instructor. It's like you're in the same room practically. Okay? 7 sessions. We take you through every chapter in your book and show you exactly what will be on your test. You take your highlighter or underliner and you will know exactly. Or you can try to guess yourself and read 900 pages. We also have question and answer book. It gives you every question that your state has asked in the last 12 months. So there's hundreds of questions because nobody can tell you exactly which ones. But if you have every question they've asked within the last year and you study them with the answers that we give you, you will not be surprised on test day. So, as I said, make sure you hit the subscribe and like button, hit the bell, you'll be notified of future videos. Give us a call. We're here 7 days a week. If you have any questions, 760-534-4434.